Happy NFL Draft Day. You stay up to watch the entire first round, 7 o'clock. I just read a tweet from somebody who covers the Steelers, reminded people the 21st pick in the draft occurred at 9:38 Central Time, so the thing goes till past 11. They really do know how to stretch this thing out.
Yeah, I'll stay up and watch it all. Hell, by the time Jerry Jones gets done, we may trade back from 12 to the last pick of the first round. So, it'll be fun. I'll have some baseball on and it'll be a good night.
What's your gut feeling, Dudley? Landon Jackson, does he sneak into the first round? I mean, we all know he's going to be the first hog taken. And then who do you think is the second Razorback that's going to be taken in this NFL draft?
I think it should be Andrew Armstrong. Now, I'm not sure who it's going to be, but, I think that you're right. Landon will be the first one. I think Andrew Armstrong would be a great pick for somebody. I know that he's being called, someone that might be a underrated performer, but when you lead the SEC for most of the season in receiving, I think you're pretty good. And so I think that's who should go number 2, but I'm not for sure who will.
I was listening to somebody talk about running backs, and now this is a very deep draft in running backs. They're expecting maybe 30 out of the college running backs could play in the NFL. I don't know if they meant that in terms of who could get drafted, but Jaquindon Jackson's going to be one of them is what I would expect. And you just kind of knew when he showed up that it looked like somebody that kind of is a professional style running back, as long as he's able to stay healthy. And I know that was the issue for him last year, I guess. That's got to be something that the NFL scouts are looking at too.
Yeah, definitely. He is a dude, no doubt, and he has NFL type ability. And that staying healthy is just a big deal. I mean, he would have had such a bigger year here, and he had a good one nevertheless. But he would have just had a great year if he had been able to stay healthy. And Arkansas probably would have won a couple more ball games, especially, I'm looking at the Oklahoma State one if he had been able to go all out there.
Dudley, you been paying attention to any of the NBA playoffs yet? I think the Celtics should cruise through. Anybody scare you in that Eastern Conference right now?
Well, Cleveland does, of course, and I think that, they've got a great team, and they've added to what they had last year. And the deal that they made to get the Hunter from DeAndre Hunter from Atlanta, I think, was big to kind of give them more of a wing defender to be able to really go at our guys and Tatum and Brown. And so I think that's big. But yeah, I'm watching. I'm a big NBA fan, so I'm watching all those games. Knew when Jimmy Butler got hurt last night that was going to put Golden State Warriors on the back there.
How serious is it?
Houston is, they think he'll be able to play, but a pelvic bruise just does not sound fun one way or another. His game is built on some athleticism, but it's also built on getting to spots. So, I'm anxious to see how he does. Now, Warriors got to split 1-1 going back home there. Houston is a very, very talented team, a very young team. They're going to be a force in the future, and I think they're going to end up getting through that series and playing the Lakers.
Hey, Dudley, what can you tell me about the new quarterback that Arkansas announced is transferring in from Florida State, Trevor Jackson? I read conflicting news, conflicting news isn't the word, just information on him online. One says that he was a walk-on at Florida State, but then he's also a 4-star, which doesn't really seem to jibe very much. And I just may have read something that was incorrect.
Yeah, I think that was a typo from somebody because my understanding he was on scholarship. Now, he did play just one snap last year. He served as the scout team quarterback. It is clear that this was, I don't want to say a reach, but it was a numbers thing when the Madden and his scenario played out. This is a kid who was very good in high school. He is similar to Talon in athleticism and stuff like that. Certainly not as tall, but at this point in the game, I certainly understand why they brought him in. Got him committed real quick, and you have to do that with the way things are. I am not so sure that they won't still take a look for somebody else, but we'll see. You had to get your numbers lined up at least.
Arkansas right now, this statement from Hunter Yurachek the other day, that's there's a lot of folks that are rallying around that around the country and feel like they're rooting for Tennessee and for Arkansas in taking a stand in what they see of the at least improper amount of leverage potentially that the student athletes have, but also just getting away with money that you probably didn't earn. But then there's another side of this. Some folks aren't quite buying into it. We just had a text just a moment ago says that Collective doesn't deserve the money back. You can't enforce contract compliance for something that's not allowed per governing authority. And we still don't quite know what's allowed as far as this House settlement's concerned. It's still being delayed. So it's just everything seems in limbo right now, Dudley. It continues to.
Yeah, certainly not a lawyer, but I watch a lot of lawyers on TV, and this has never come up on Perry Mason or Matt Locke or anything like that. And this is kind of a new chapter that I'm going to be interested to see how it plays out. Contract law is certainly, you would like to think it's cut and dry, but it's not. And, I think it was a brilliant PR move. And as you said, the sports community is rallying behind what he said, and now that these kids per se are professional athletes, and that's what they are. Like a lot of people think they should be treated like that, and if you break a contract and if the language is right, you should be paying something back. I guess I saw the figure being tossed out there is $200,000, which makes sense to me. I think that you're going to have trouble getting it back, and even if you tried and the first judge ruled that you could get it back, then no appeal, and this thing will just keep going. But I do think it was a brilliant PR move by him, and got Arkansas some publicity that, let's be honest, they need.
Big baseball series coming up, but it's just bigger than just this weekend. Every weekend is big in the SEC, yes, even the Missouri series. But it's the programs that you're facing right now, and it's still Florida, Texas, LSU, Tennessee. These are recent national champions, teams that have played for national championships recently, and Arkansas certainly. I think this team can be at that level once we get to it in June, hopefully. Pitching seems to be coming around a little bit in terms of bullpen. Dudley, are they getting enough innings from starters?
I don't think so, but it's kind of got the way it's gone. And, now that they're getting some people back, that'll help out. But you need to get not only innings, but quality innings. You would hope what Gabe did last weekend will set him in motion to have a good last part of the season here. If it takes starting Gage Wood and then bringing him in, and that works out for them, and it sounds like that's what they're going to do again this weekend. Then you do it as you have to do it. I'm anxious to see what they're going to get in terms of getting guys healthy down toward the end of the year and what they get out of that. But Matt, this they're in like the pool of death right now, aren't they?
Absolutely. Like what was that Clint Eastwood movie, Deadpool?
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, it's a gauntlet, but and it's look. Here's the thing: Florida is not quite what anybody thought they would be. You can score against this team. I think Arkansas is going to score some runs. This is a big weekend for Texas against A&M because their ace pitcher's out and may be done for the remainder of the season. That's a team that's fundamentally really good, but they're built on pitching. LSU has shown themselves to be destructible, even at home this year. I mean, they just got run-rolled at home by Northwestern State. And Tennessee, they've been number one, but they've also lost a couple of series at home. So it's by no means an easy stretch. It's a ridiculously difficult stretch. But, Dudley, they're all winnable series.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a great weekend in the conference. The many TVs here at the Dawson household, one of them will be on college baseball throughout the weekend as well. Just looking forward to it, and I do think that you are put in a situation now, and we look at Florida and see their 6-12 record, and we look at analytics, and some of them. The projections say they're one of the last four teams and all that. They're going to be playing, with some sense of urgency. And that's what Arkansas has to do as well. also has to just play fundamentally sound. And I think that's something that, I felt for Chris Curry this week. He came in, his team didn't get to score, but I think that was obviously a good tune-up for Arkansas, trying to get some good feelings back and get going again in Florida. And sounds like there will be some nice hot weather down there.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs. BetOnline has more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news, and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played. With the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC, BetOnline remains the number one online source for all your sports wagering information. In between games, head over to BetOnline Casino with all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino. BetOnline, the game starts here.